And we are back. Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the BTS Summer Cup. We are back with, well, I believe this is the second to last day of Phase 2, and, well, we got two series here for you today, two best of threes. I'm Killer Pigeon, and I dragged him back in. He must be getting exhausted by now. I don't think he's worked this hard in a while. How you doing, Lizard?
What do you mean I haven't worked this while? Like in a while?
I mean, we know you work
know
out
me?
a lot, but...
What? Bosnians are not lazy, man. What? and what's with this? He's dragging me in all the time, you dirty little flying rat, flying in through the windows.
You're a slippery lizard, man. It's hard to keep a grip on you. You just like, we'll be halfway through a series, you get distracted.
Can we agree to that? I kind of slither in into like, what am I doing here? How did I get this job? How am I analyzing?
I mean, that's esports. That's how esports works.
Yeah, I guess you can say that I slithered into this casting business. It's fun so far, though. So, yeah, we have this Vega Squadron versus Double Dimension, man. What do you think? What do you think about this? They've been not so good in the last few series, right?
Yeah, so Vega had that issue where they had to have a stand-in. Zayats wasn't available, so it felt a little bit off because Mag only recently joined the team. It doesn't feel the right person to fill that captain role. But
it was Solo, right, that standed in for Zayats.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Solo! It's going to be amazing." It's like, despite how great a player Solo may be, it's hard to come into a team. He didn't even have like drafting control either, but it's hard to come into a team.
Super hard, especially, you know what? The weirdest part is that people don't understand how much harder it is when you swap a 5 or a 4 instead of swapping a core. It's a completely different game, man, because those guys control the pace of the game early on. And if you give them a hero that they're not comfortable on, I mean, players like Solo, they're comfortable on anything. But if you can't adjust yourself to the hero pool of theirs and kind of draft around it and have the same, like they should be leading. And then they're surrounded by 4 people that they have to lead, but at the same time, you see what I'm saying? Like it's hard to just come in.
Creative freedom, basically.
Yeah, you don't have creative freedom, and people might not listen to you as much, and it's hard, and it didn't go so well for them, understandably so. Though this game, though, they are back in full roster. I don't know. They have Dandy and Mag.
I mean, he's been there a while. At this point, like we might as well call it full roster.
I mean, for this tournament, this is the roster. This is definitely the roster. It's Dandy and Mag, and who knows what's gonna happen in the future. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I don't wanna have some Twitter conflict with one of these old schoolers, you know, like I don't want that. But overall, it's looking kind of spooky.
Well, apparently the rumors, I was going to say quickly, the rumors are apparently that Mag is on a trial with Vega. That's what the rumors are. They're a bit more founded than the ones that Dendy's leaving Na'Vi. Na'Vi's going to fall to shambles. They're going to cry, and then a year later pay him double to bring him back, and all this different stuff that's going around. But yeah, I mean, we should probably get into the draft. Like you said, Shadow Demon appearing, which is one of the older combos of Mirana. It's a little bit more tricky.
Mirana, man. I mean, this SD, he's not really... I mean, CISC, and they pick him a lot. Like, they actually do. However, in the EU and NA, they don't as much. But this hero is definitely a valuable asset to your team. Like, he hasn't been nerfed at all, and he's been buffed patch after patch. He's not really, in my opinion, he's not really where Crystal Maiden is right now, but he is strong. And it's a good old combo with Mirana, right? So overall, also, in this current game, he has a lot of utility that he can provide to his team without even having any items. One is Purge versus Windrunner, and the other is Disruption versus Bane's Grip or whatever. And let's not even talk about Disruption into Arrow. That's kind of, you know, one of those usual things that you don't really have to mention. So overall, already a really nice support pick. I like it. Counters both of their first picks. You don't really see this way too often. When it comes to Mirana, meta pick, Windranger and Bane, just meta picks overall. Just heroes that are currently strong and played a lot. Nothing really, not a lot that we can talk about, right? Bane, just a beast on the lane, very hard to trade hits with him. Windranger, kind of similar. Yeah, Orb of Venom has been nerfed, so you don't see Windrangers buying that and just harassing you out as much as they used to. But overall, she's still she's still very strong. Yeah, her power shot, I believe, it was nerfed as well for like 15-20 damage. So there are some nerfs going her way already, but she's still not dumpstered. So she's still there. I wonder if we're gonna see a Bloodseeker though.
Quite possible. I was gonna say, yeah,
he
got banned right at the start, along with your treasured CM. But I was gonna say, like, in fairness, like you're saying, they try and nerf these two heroes that Vega picks so often, but it's not really worked out that much. I think the thing with Wind Ranger is the power shot was hurt most at level 1, but once you get 2 points in it, it's okay. So they didn't really cripple on. It's more like they said, okay, instead of having this diverse choice where level 1 power shot does a lot and then you can just change the wind run, you got to kind of commit. It's kind of like the dazzle factor, right? Where it's like, you've got 2 very powerful abilities, but which one are you going to focus on maxing out? You can't evenly max.
Yeah, you can't kind of go both of them. You need to commit, and that's very right. Overall, with Wind Ranger, whoa, wait, we have a huge watermelon in the center of our screen, man. Like, Tide, all right?
There's something more important to ask here. Is this going to be a pos for Tide?
Slayer position for Tide. I wouldn't be surprised, but I doubt it.
I mean, in fairness, Wind Ranger, like Mag has been the consistent player of Wind Ranger on that team.
That's true. Actually, that's very true. But he played Tidehunter once as well, so I'm wondering, like, I mean, it could be, honestly. Like, they played Axe position 4, they played Ursa position 4. This could be another one of those debates in which they bait out Ursa pick because it's so strong versus Tide, right? These double dimension guys, they think, all right, let's just go for it. They pick him, and then suddenly Tidehunter is not doing anything but running at you, gushing you, and running away, while Wind Ranger is the actual laner that's harassing you and zoning you out and taking all the sweet CS.
People kind of underestimate that sort of stuff, though. Like, because you're essentially taking a ginormous ultimate that can change the whole team, and then you're stripping it for traditional routes in the offlane, for example, and then saying, okay, why don't we take this as a support? I mean, it's very out there, but we said that about the Ursa, we said that about the Axe, we still saw it, though.
Naga as well. All right, not really as rarely seen as Tidehunter. Tidehunter has made a resurgence, so like we see him now as well. But Naga, she's just been a constant pick, and she's been nerfed time after time. She's still a constant pick. This hero is just strong. She's a very good partner to the Mirana on the lane, just as Shadow Demon is. I would argue that Naga is even better because of the Riptide and minus armor, plus the setup with the web or ensnare. So overall, these 3 heroes, they work very well together, and you can always kind of use the sleep to counter the Ravage if you're positioned very well. But as we said, like, there aren't many teams that have the versatility as Vega Squadron. Like the Tidehunter, the Ursa, the Axe position 4s on Slayer, they're just amazing. But at the same time, so far that we watched them, it always worked out. The problem with having these crazy position 4s is that you have to be really good on that position, and no doubt about it, Slayer is. But what happens if the game goes wrong when he does that? When he takes an Ursa position 4 and doesn't manage to do anything in the early stage? Because last 2 games that we watched, he just completely stopped them. He had 10-0 minute 10 or something. But there are games in which that doesn't happen, and that's when you can just raise your white flag, because there we go.
That's the
kind of baited them. Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about, right? The Tidehunter is picked. Let's pick Ursa, guys, to counter the Tidehunter. And suddenly Tidehunter is position 4, running around, providing gush. Like, this hero isn't a very awkward position 4 either. Like, he's been picked like that. He's been drafted before, like, position 4. I'm not certain that we're going to see it here. It's always kind of out there, right? But overall, it is possible.
Wow, I mean, we did see the Jara picked up, and I think when I had Kips on the other day, she was kind of saying it's weird that this hero is still being picked up by teams because it's not that strong anymore. It's very situational at the moment. It feels more like teams are still in a comfort pick scenario with it.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with. I wonder. First of all, I just wonder if they're gonna ban Invoker, because it would have been a perfect pick for DD right now. I really feel it. But besides that, man, like Gyro, he's always gonna be strong. Like, how many times do you have to nerf him to completely completely get him out of your face? Because this guy, he has multiple things that are really good. He's a strong laner. arguably, but he's a strong laner in most scenarios, either with a rocket or with a barrage. He can farm fairly fast, and he has multiple options on how he can itemize. So because of that, I can truly see this hero sticking around, even though he is dumpstered or whatever. And then the thing that even if it's nerfed, the players are very adjusted to him. They are very comfortable on the hero, and because of that, they're gonna play him no matter what, man. You know, like if you have 1,000 games on one hero, you're gonna play him versus any counter picks, and you're gonna play him well. It's just the way it is, because you've played that hero versus every counter pick multiple times, and you know exactly how to itemize versus those counter picks. You know exactly what to do. So, yep, already a fun draft. Both of these drafts looking very solid so far.
It's definitely going to be Warren for that Tide, though, regardless of how comfortable he is on the hero. So it's just the natural counter to heroes like Tide, because it doesn't matter how much damage you reduce, you can't stop the Fury swipes.
TA band. Are we gonna see it? Maybe Zeus is good here as well, or something like that. Why else the TA band? I mean, TA band. She's just so strong. You can get anything if you ban her.
Yeah, they could leave themselves open to an easy counter pick potentially. I think it was Vega actually try and run. Was it Gyro against the Invoker before? It didn't work out great, but the recovery rate of the Gyro meant it was okay. The difference that time around was that Vega, or I think it was Vega who done it, was on the dire side. So they always had the triangle of farm.
Yeah, the triangle of fun. Good way to call it. The triangle in which all my pub carries are lost. Triangle around the shrine, those 3 goddamn cream camps. It is Invoker. And what the caller? I seriously. Bow down, plebs. No, it was kind of obvious though. You have the Naga setup and you have the Shadow Demon setup, and it's so easy to land those Sun Strikes. They're always gonna hit, connect, and these lanes should go. I mean, unless he's completely pressured. I think Dandy he played Quap versus Stormer last time, right? Yeah, they played versus LOTV, and they had a very good Invoker, one of those spammer guys, Stormer, like 3,000 games on him, and they went with Queen of Pain, and they're gonna do the same here, yeah. So this is a way of alleviating that pain. Like the Queen of Pain can really pressure the Invoker very hard, and it's Slayer Tidehunter.
Yes, woo! I called it. Anyone who wants to come here and say I'm wrong, I said Mag loves that Wind Ranger. There's your Tide support. It's a little bit different considering you're up against the Ursa still, but if you're distracting all attention on you, Mag's getting free farm.
Dude, like me and you, these calls, this is some, I don't know, it's like
I guarantee
I'm speechless.
The chat was like, oh, don't be stupid, this is a POS free Tide Hunter, you don't play Tide anywhere else. Well, you don't suck on that. There you go, Tide Hunter support.
Yeah, yeah, chat. There you go, chat. What now? Huh? So bad. Who's so bad now?
Bow down. We know this. I mean, in fairness, if there's any team that was going to do this as Vega, at this point, we just kind of look for the weird pick. I was like, could that be a support? Well, I mean, we don't think it could, so it probably will be.
I just love the way they draft, because it's even obvious at this point. Like, they always draft this hero that's going to get countered by some Ursa or something, and then they just put that hero on position 4, and they put the Windrunner versus the Ursa. And then she just dominates that lane. We'll see if that's going to happen this game too, because these lanes aren't so easy to play against, even when you're kind of countered them that way because of the Invoker effect, the Sun Strikes. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, definitely. I wonder, like last time we saw that Invoker, in my opinion, is arguably maybe more experienced on the hero than this Invoker, even though Pikachu is a great player. He's been in the scene for a while now. However, that Invoker got crushed. Like, Dandy just destroyed him on mid.
I think the other issue here is, like, to kind of reference that, is I think that was a Core Sweats game, right? So he had more regen at his disposal. This time, it's an Exhort Invoker, which means if he doesn't bring the aggression, Dendy should just be able to run over him once they reach 6.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking as well. Because exactly what you said, actually. Because you want to have that Exhort, because you have the Kingar and Snare on one side, and you have the Shadow Demon Disruption on the other side. You have setups. But if you're going that Exhort, you're much easier to be ganked. You're much easier to be zoned. It's gonna be a difficult lane, and I believe how this lane goes, it's gonna kind of show us how the whole game goes. If Invoker suffers completely, they're gonna be shut down hard. If he has a good game, I think they can definitely have a nice time as well as a team and win it.
But they got a little bit aggressive in the bot lane, so it should be 2 runes apiece, as we typically see, just one team waiting to see what the other's move is. And, I mean, we've kind of moved away from this scenario where you used to have the mid just go down to one of the runes and look for that first blood. It doesn't happen too often anymore.
It didn't happen for too often either, though. It happened, like, maybe for a week or two, right? And then it stopped as well. So
it's a bit like what we're seeing here, where you just dive past the creep wave because it ignores you. And, I mean, Slayer, you do a decent amount of damage to Kuman.
Yeah, but at the same time, he has 4 stacks, and 5th might connect as well.
Vanscore's just baiting out.
Yeah, like that's a. You know what the worst part is?
He has no regen.
Absolutely no regen. Yeah, so he has to. He started very greedily though. Like he has a Mango, Orb of Venom, and Stout Shield. Like when you buy Orb of Venom and Stout Shield, already your regen is like you don't have any. So, but he's not gonna go base. He's just gonna go back and
they're aggressing Vanscore hard here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of the thing. I think this is going to be the most volatile lane, back and forth. The Ursa just pounding on the Tidehunter, and then they'll just in return attack Vanscore every time.
Yeah, like both of these lanes are kind of volatile, as you said. Both of these lanes can go either way. Vanscore already dropping so low, and Dandy just diving behind tier 1 on mid. Pikachu is not having a fun time either. He is 2-0 versus 6-1 on Quap. Like, he's not gonna have a fun time. And Vanscore is actually moving back. This is... Kuman is gonna get pressure too, because if the Shadow Demon has to run base, it's gonna take a while. 297 movement speed is not fun to walk back to Fountain with.
This type of scenario is kind of, yeah, like you said, double disadvantageous, because now Ursa's gonna get forced out. More to the point, Shadow Demon is not a support that does well without levels, right? You've, like, all your abilities have good purpose, and also you want to get level 2, level 3 Shadow Poison quickly.
Yeah, and you wanna, I mean, you wanna get the Soul Catcher and Disruption more than anything because of the Invoker right now. So even starting with Shadow Poison is kinda questionable. Yeah, you zone out, but overall, I mean, it's not questionable. You're playing versus Slayer and Mag. These heroes don't die, even if you combo them well. So, yeah, Shadow Poison level 1 I can get behind, but later he needs the first 2 spells too, so that he can actually make stuff happen. But overall, such a great play again by Vega. Like, and this Tidehunter, he didn't do a lot. They didn't get any kills, but already he's doing enough. This Ursa is pressured, and Windrunner is on top of the CS. Yeah, it's negligible. It's only 2 CS more, but overall, if Tidehunter was offlane, he would be completely crushed by Ursa alone. So I like that they have this versatility in them to just put the usually offlane hero on the position 4. But at the same time, I'm surprised that teams are not used to this already. That they don't anticipate it. So.
Yeah, especially since it's been Vega through any game where they have Zayats in it. He just sees these kind of scenarios, and like we said in the draft, he baits you in, he makes you counterpick it, and then he just switches up his position in the game. Oh, that block though, Plandemos eats the arrow here. The Zayats should be able to move away. A little bit closer than you'd like, but Plandemos, that was a smart move there.
On top,
him on top.
Tide,
he's going to fall here. They take advantage, make sure there's no chance there's going to be a TP rotation, because Zayat's, of course, the type of hero that can deal with Ursa quite well.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's kind of... Slayer gets a free teleport to the base. It's not really... It's a first blood, so it's not really the best scenario in which he's sent to base, but overall, he comes back in and he aggresses even harder.
In fairness, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Oh, nice. He stopped Power Shot from being a full charge. Mac has to move away. Takes a lot of damage. I was about to say the other thing is that was Vanscore who got the final hit, so at least you're not giving that gold to Ursa. Quick phase boots in this lane could make all the difference.
Definitely getting phases on Ursa here could be so strong for them. But luckily, Vanscore with a kill secure on his Shadow Demon. So
wink,
they had
wink.
that luck. Yeah, at the same time, like bottom lane, that block we didn't talk about, that block was awesome.
Oh, arrow?
Ursa.
Oh, nice Nightmare dodge. The Sunstrike coming inside, it's getting low on HP. Maybe doesn't want to hang here anymore. He hung around a little bit too long, and they move forward. Starstorm comes out, Cheshire Cat, he can't get the kill. Meanwhile, Tide does fall in the top lane, and Mag almost getting killed as well. They do at least get Ursa.
You got debated to the action on the bottom lane.
I mean, in fairness.
Yeah, it was awesome. At the same time, Ursa was diving both of them alone, with Vanscore not even being close. Like, Ursa just manned the hell up. He said, I'm taking this lane. It's my lane.
And he might feel like it's more his lane now that he's full HP, but he did have to die for it. Oh, yeah, bot. Snare on Plantimos. These nightmares are really good from Zayat. They're just blocking out so much potential damage that Double Dimension has.
Yeah, the nightmare, you can use it defensively like that so often. People kind of neglect that. You can dodge most spells with it, and Zayat definitely knows the hero very well, and he's doing just that.
I think the bigger deal is
good stuff.
I was gonna say both teams now using the shrines on the bot lane, and when they come back, that's kind of the thing. Is right now, it feels like Double Dimension they have to get those early kills, because once they go 0 mana, it's kind of hard for Mirana to contest with the Bane.
Indeed. Overall, I'm just wondering when are we gonna start seeing these Sunstrikes come into play? Because if you have these setups on the side lanes, I mean,
he has barely any mana. That's the problem.
Yeah, because he's pressured so hard, I suppose. But overall, at the same time, you kind of want to get these kills with Invoker. It's not even about helping your side lanes. It's about getting those kills. Because, I mean, overall, Pikachu is doing fine. He's on top of the CS, which is partly because of this Tidehunter, by the way. Let's talk about this. You have this position for Tidehunter. This is what we kind of talked about in the drafting phase, but we really didn't expand. You have a position 4 that's not truly a position 4, and this is the first time that he makes a rotation mid. Let's see.
With a haste room. Wants to jump Pikachu. Dendy's got enough the Sonic Wave as well. The Colsap's going to come out, use the Scream, needs to get the Sonic Wave off. We're getting stunned up. They'll throw it out. Pikachu protected by the Disruption. And now Dendy, he might pop here. They'll get the kill on the Invoker. But Slayer will have to give his life for it.
And he does
Brain Sap in return.
Yeah, Shadow Demon. So this is exactly what I was trying to expand before it happened. I just wanted to give him this one more chance so that he kind of repairs the damage that's already been done, because this Invoker is in a quite good spot. You have a position 4 that's a Tidehunter, and he hasn't really been ganking. He hasn't been doing a lot more but pressuring the top lane.
Seeing that Tide. Yep, Kuma going in. He's got the Enrage out. Mag just trying to slow him down. The wind run's good enough. They'll look to turn around with a power shot through. Kuma getting low. Nice one to try and buy some time. But Gush available. Slayer's looking for the target here, but Salvo from Kuma. He's going to turn around Slayer. Earthshock hits him, will come in, and he will fall.
Cool, man. What a player, man. Like, really well played there. He was really fast about everything, by the way. It's not even about... like, the play, it's what you expect him to do, but overall, it was just very fluent. He did it very fast. And he's
got the power shot. He needs to get out of vision to try for this, though, because Vanscore sees the Disruption coming out. The Sunstrike as well. Mag getting low on HP. If they hit 2 more poisons, he should fall here. He'll dodge it out just about. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, looks like Zayas got hit by an arrow. He's getting low on HP, but they're chasing Cheshire Cat away. Dendy just show up here. The TP out attempt by Mirana will not be interrupted. The Nightmare on King R means he will fall at least.
All right, so we see one that out of everything that has happened in the last minute, at least we see that Naga falling. I'm satisfied. The blood in my eyes is gone, man. Finally. And we saw a Sunstrike. It didn't lead to a kill. Like, we didn't see a kill from that Invoker, but overall, at least they're using it as a zoning tool versus Mag.
They kind of have to. Like, Ursa's in recovery right now. Even though he's got good levels, he's sitting top on the last hits. It's more that I'm not going to say he's doing bad, right? He's doing great. But Windrange is that type of hero that does counter him out quite well, and there's a Bane involved. He has to be pretty far ahead of the competition. Yeah,
he definitely does, but the thing is, he doesn't have to carry he doesn't have to carry this team on his own, and that's the thing. Like, this Invoker is doing really well.
Fair point. Speaking of that, Ursa, Disruption comes out. Gyro coming up. Plantimos doing a lot of damage to Kuma. Kuma needs to move away, but he can't. He will fall. And Slayer might chase some more. The Gush comes out. Vance going a little bit of trouble. Mag chasing down with the Wind Run. They'll get right on top, and they've got the power shot available as well. And he's gone. Double kill for Mag.
Yeah, a great play by Vega there, realizing that they're kind of struggling just a little bit in these lanes, and that they have to do something. Ursa was level 7 when Gyro was 5, so overall rotating and getting that tasty bear down was very good for them. I mean, Usually this is the case though. The team that makes this first rotation with their carry on their safe lane gets a lot out of it. It's almost like a general rule.
Mindy just got snared. Sunstrike's going to come down half HP already, but they have the Moonlight Shadow, which means Vega cannot really engage in this. Have to move away. Zayat's being chased onto. Kuman is here as well. They got the whole team here. They're ready to fight. Problem is, no 6 on Naga, so they can't really set up these easy things. Arrow, though, hits on the Zayat. They're not really needed, but it'll be there anyway. And now they'll look to run him down. Pikachu coming across the Cold Snap. Zayat's going to be close. He can't get the Brain Sap out, though, due to the Cold Snap. They should take the tier 1 here, which should enable Kuman to go to the Roche soon. And this is what we want to see, right? Like we were saying, Kuman needs some actions on the map. We saw Plantimos respond first, but that was more like a recovery move, whereas this is an objective move from Double Dimension.
It was, and this tower on mid is huge for them. As you, like, yeah, you still have the shrine to port in. It's an easy access to the hit, but overall, this tower on mid is just so valuable, and getting it 10 minutes into the game is huge for Double Dimension. And overall, these heroes that they've got, like, they're kind of expected to dominate the laning stage. However, not mid. Like, I expected Queen of Pain to dominate mid. It didn't happen, and that's super weird. So overall, I think Double Dimension is in a really good spot right now.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of that awkward scenario where you pick a Queen of Pain to come ahead in lane. It's a bully type laner. And we did really expect Invoker to have a hard time. Even with an Exhort build, he should have been forced to be bossed regularly just to heal up. And speaking of that Invoker, Nightmare dodge by Zayat buys a little bit of time. He's still taking too much damage. Dendi coming across. They can't pretend Brain Sap out. Won't matter. And now the Sonic Wave used just to erase Naga. Now the Sunstrike off the arrow. It looks like Pikachu is going to grab himself a double kill as Dendi. He might take the Naga with him, but Pikachu just capitalizing on all these moves that Vega attempt.
Yeah, it's an awesome kill there, going away with Pikachu. Oh, Mag getting Kuman alone.
That shouldn't be happening, though. Mag, I said he was a decent counter to the Ursa, but with Enrage and a tower nearby, that's the kind of kill we don't expect to see. Unless you get, by looks of it, 100 lucky procs with Javelin.
Unless you have the Javelin 11 minutes in with the Phase Boots and Old Talisman, and you have level 4 wind run, so you can just run him down. It can happen, definitely, but overall, it's not something that you would usually expect.
Plantimos? They're trying to block him out. He's got the Phase Boots. The song comes out. He's not fine. Kuman's on his way as Sir's fan score. They want this kill. Plantimos has no way out of this. Zayat is on his way, but it'll be way too late. The cooldown's going to come out, but the Snare holds him in place, and Plantimos will fall.
Seems good. A good kill there. Didn't see that she was 6 and that she can use the song. My bad, 7 actually. So overall,
she's been level 1 well.
Yeah, nice. I mean, it's minute 12. What am I even saying? I saw Shadow Demon level 5. I guess, yeah, that tome was interestingly enough. Usually you give the tome to your position 4, but if he's this high in levels, it's weird to see it going his way anyway.
I was gonna say, actually, the other thing is Slayer got 6, but Tidehunter setting up an ult is not as easy. With the Shackle Shot, Cheshire Cat chasing on to, he's got 2 leaps left.
Has one more leap.
This is what I was talking about, though. Like, you couldn't have ravaged that far away because the leaps would have came out. And this is kind of the awkward issue. Yes, Tidehunter is a great support defensively, but offensively, unless you can get a 4-star for a blink, what are you going to do here?
Yeah, you can be the utility guy as well, but overall, you can't really be that blink-in initiator, definitely. As a position 4, it's I mean, you can, but you need to get there, right? And if you are buying all these mini items that he bought, like the wand and the raindrops, it's basically what you need, but you need to survive through the laning stage and to pressure people. But after that, it kind of gets a bit harder to farm up your dagger. Yeah, you have the Encore Smash, but do you have the time to actually go on a lane and just farm as a position 4 tight? That's the thing. That's the issue. So they have to give him some space if they actually want him to be kind of relevant later on.
This feels like a lot of wasted time in the bot lane. They're not able to do anything right now.
Well, Cheshire Cat is moving in. He's
got 2 leaps.
There's no Shackle, though. Only 1 level in Shackle, so it's not really easy
got spotted. He's forced 1 leap out at least, but it just kind of feels like they've had 3 heroes down here. I mean, it's 2 for about a minute, and then Zayat's joined in as well. Now the Fiend's Grip, though, the arrow's going to connect with Slayer, but the power shot through, fan score's gone, and they'll know there's a sentry here, and they won't be able to capitalize on it. It's about to expire, which means that ward will persist for the time being.
not to waste the time any longer. I mean, Vanscore just ran to them and saved them. He was like, all right, guys, you waited here for such a long time. Mag? Arrow? Doesn't connect. Pikachu is here, though. This is wasting time. Unless he takes over and farms.
Yeah, you've got two cores in the same place. That's dewarding. He gets the deward. He won't care now. And the Moonlight Shadow have been used, but for what? There's no one showing now. They've all retreated to the jungle.
Ursa might go into the pit with that. He does.
Slayer? Banks another arrow. But for the runes, it's worth it. They're in the pit, like you said. They need to be quick about this because it should be obvious quite fast. The Nightmare coming out on Cheshire Cat, though. He's got 3 leaps available. You need to get this right. They got the Ravage. The Shackle Shot as well. They're overstacking their stuns, but they at least kill her off. And now they need to get this tower, but it means they are going to give Roche over to Kuman.
They probably don't expect it. They didn't, so it's very important for Ursa to get these first Roshans because it kind of opens up the game for him. He didn't even have any. I mean, the Morbid Mask and the Naga, they were enough. So overall, if they decided to check the Roche pit, they could have contested, but instead they killed the Mirana. And I'm thinking Mirana is happy to die for that. Well, she would be more happy if she got out, obviously, but overall
it was a lot committed as well.
Yeah, and Ravage was committed too, right? So overall, in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty certain DD is satisfied with what just happened.
I feel like the key issue we're seeing right now is Plantomos is still playing catch-up because that's the thing. You can typically you'll see sometimes lineups will just focus around the Roche because they know Ursa wants to get in there. Like you said, the first one's very important. But it requires a lot of attention, and it feels like Plantomos is still playing catch-up.
They're all going top, though. And it's only the
Shackle Shot connects on the Vanscore. He should fall here. Let's get out, but that will stop the push at least.
They forced a lot of them to rotate top. Basically, everyone is top, and Invoker is bottom right now, using his meatball to cut the creep wave and just go for the tower.
And he almost has Ags at this point, which is where he can really start to get involved. And with the Ursa having the Aegis, that means they could always push for more towers with Ursa at the front.
What do you think about the 2 nulls and power threads without Midas on Exort Walker?
I'm kind of sick of Midas. I feel like Midas is a real... It's not that it's worthless. It feels like I'd really probably get it if I was playing super catch-up. But even then, like the average timings for game finishing...
I agree with you, man. You're an analyst.
It's like I'm trying to find a justification for it. But honestly, even after they tried to... I think they changed the cooldown by 5 seconds. Like, whoop-de-doo, that's one more Midas use over a game. Game still finished way too quickly.
Yeah,
Besides, Cheshire Cat, he actually leaps towards him. The Fiend Script coming out. They'll have a power shot for him as well. And Cheshire Cat, I'm not really sure what that was. Maybe a little bit of a panic click because he could have went up to the high ground. But he does get a little kiss for it.
That was definitely a panic click, nothing more. They were smoked, though, and it was very hard for him to get out. But he could have if he leapt on time, most likely. And in the right direction.
It was kind of perfectly timed by Zayats because then Cheshire Cat was like, okay, time to go farm the next camp, and immediately regrets it.
Yeah, we have a dagger on Kuman. This is where
the smoke
starts, and the smoke, and they're going bottom.
They've got Ravage available though. They want Plantomos. Oh, Zayats gets spotted out, and Dendi he'll blink away. Zayats won't be so lucky as he gets caught despite the Nightmare. The Snare holds him in place, and they're on a full retreat. And this is just more time bought though, because there's no tower here. There's no tier 1. And Kuman, he's not got long left on that Aegis.
I mean, yeah, overall, I expected none of them to die because of Dendi as he walked.
Vanscore might die. He's gone.
Yep.
Then he found a DD. King Art, do you really want to approach this is the question. He's got a blink available, so he can make it out.
They can sleep into arrow here.
They need to.
Yeah, Dendi can die here.
Line up, Dendi, and there's a Sunstrike. He's going to fall. It was a little bit cocky. I think he had a small opportunity to get out of there. And while that's happening, though, Mag actually picks off Pikachu in the top lane. And once again, I think that was solo because Slayer did not commit the Ravage at all.
Yeah, he just used the Gush and the Dust, though, so it wasn't really solo. He helped him with detection.
The low-level Ghost Walk.
Yeah, the low-level Ghost Walk didn't help the Invoker out. Overall, the kill in the river, then he knew that Mirana was very far away, so he kind of played around a bit too much after killing Vanscore. He should have just tried and blinked out immediately.
I mean, you feel emboldened, right? It's an easy mistake to fall into. Once you get a DD at pre-20 minutes, you feel like a powerhouse. And
bottom lane, though, there's a blink, and Palantimos and Bane are close.
That's the problem. He has to go on Zayats first. He'll jump in, slows down the Earthshock, Nightmare to protect. There's a blink. available. Gonna go move in, and there it is. They silence up on the Earth. The Gnome Rage available for him. He's gonna pop here, and that should be the Aegis. And now the Fiend's Grip coming out. Nice protection, though, straight away from Fanskull. The cooldown's going to be dodged out as well. Now the Ravage will connect. The Sonic Wave through. Kumin down to half HP already. He's going to have to use the Enrage soon. But the Nightmare control on the Cheshire Cat means he can't really get involved. Slayer taking a lot of damage, but this is your possible, and he's still alive. Voga finally run with the Meatball, but then he blinks away. And it looks like Cheshire Cat's going to be the one to fall. And actually, they do get Slayer, but Fanskull will fall in return. And they're still chasing Mag with the focus fire. And Kuman's going to fall. They're chasing him more. Have they got any detection? I don't think they do, as Zayat only has sentries and he's way too far away.
He can't catch him. Interestingly, Invoker didn't really do a whole lot there. He came in through a Meatball and a Tornado, and that's it. Didn't really... Like, he hit the Queen of Pain, but he just blinked out with Quap, and no real contribution to that fight, actually. And it's becoming scary, because this Wind Ranger, like, she has a blocking bar. She hasn't used it yet, but she can just stand in front versus this team. Yeah, there's a purge that you have to deal with. You have to worry about that, but overall, you don't really have to deal about... You don't have to worry about Invoker. Besides that Sunstrike, you're not really threatened.
That's cool. Yeah, it just got disrupted and will be caught by the arrows. That's going to fall in. Dendi, they knew he was around because they did slap down a sentry just before he walked by, because they had that ward spotting out the Invis pickup. Overall, the ward, actually, that's something I haven't talked about too much, is the warding focus. Obviously, for double dimension, it's always going to be around the mid lane for setting up the roaches. Yeah, this ward that they've got right here, it's usually what we're going to see around the pit. Maybe a bit deeper on this cliff that's next to the tier 2 top lane, though. Palantimos. Oh, they jump in. Palantimos surrounded. Kuman just finding anyone who tries to split push. And it's, once again, it's this kind of issue when your Gyro just wants to keep on farming. And I mean, this Palantimos is this type of player. He loves to be able to farm, right?
Bottom lane?
Nah, no shackle shots. Neck.
Yeah,
but Palantimos is that type of player, right? He wants that space to farm. And Gyro's a great hero for that. But Double Dimensions lineup is pretty well suited to punish that.
Honestly, yeah, you can say that, but at the same time, he's not really having the best time in this game, definitely. He's been pressured quite hard. He's been dying in every single engagement that happened so far, and he went for that halberd. Yeah, the halberd is alright, you can disassemble it later on, but for Butterfly and Sanj and Sasha Yasha, as we would say. Overall, like, he's sacrificial so far. He's a sacrificial lamb. He's always in front. He's always, like, instead of Dendi or Windrunner being top and being caught, it's their position 1. So I suppose they expect a lot of damage output coming from Mag later on. They expect a lot out of this Wind Ranger. They expect a lot out of this Queen of Pain, because so far the one suffering and the one that has been farming unprotected was this Gyro.
That kind of thing is, yes, he's actually still ahead of Ursa, but Ursa's the type of hero that does a lot more with less gold compared to a Gyro, I'd say. Like, especially with Enrage,
and it's much harder for an Ursa to farm. It's not a Gyro. Gyro farms just so much easier. So Ursa, you're more reliant on those skills early on. You're hunting. You're trying to get like some pickoffs, and he's been sort of successful so far. It hasn't been a Slayer kind of an Ursa, but it's been all right.
I mean, I quite like what Palantimos is doing now. So he's going for the Aghanims deck, identifying that actually, like you said, even when there is big team fights, he's the first focus. He's going to get stunned up, he's going to get controlled, so you might as well still be attacking with Aghs.
Yeah, I mean, not having the BKB just makes that so much easier for them. But overall, they have good spells to go through BKB. They have the Ensnare from the Naga.
Back.
And
nice blink away. They did use the Moonlight Shadow. Nice Nightmare as well, as they had a Sentry revealing. And Vanskull might be in a little bit of trouble here, as there is a homing missile coming straight for his face. Silenced up, power shot through.
Connects, but
they can't get anything on it though. Invoker's just pushing on the bot lane. He did get the tier 2 at least, but you will now lose your tier 1 in the mid, which, especially as a nurse lineup, that's the most important tower of the game.
I wonder what happened there. Was it some sort of a miscommunication, or did they just expect Shadow Demon to attack Wind Ranger a bit earlier so that she cannot blink? Because you never go in like that. On a person with a blink, you never even expect your Ensnare to connect. It's not something that you do. So most likely they had different plans with that Shadow Demon creeping in from behind. Didn't work, so they got punished, but there's a DD on Wind Ranger now. And Cheshire Cat is running straight into
the trees here. Oh, the shackle shot perfectly lands on the one tree, and Cheshire Cat will fall. My patience pays off there.
Yeah,
And
that 1-3 there, man.
Just it's all it takes, man. It's just one.
This is the random 3 right there. Why is it there?
Like
Ice Rod.
I don't.
Why is that 3 there?
I don't question shackle shot interactions. Not since that Monkey King game yesterday.
The Monkey King being shackled to the tree that he was on top of.
That he was leaping to. Yeah, that's pretty great experience.
That was ridiculous.
But I mean, it's always been that questionable spell, right? The way that Wind Ranger's shackle shot interacts in this game. They always try and nerf it and tweak it, but then it just seems to be more broken than last time.
It has always been weird. Like, I remember when it was super hard to land. Like, it was almost impossible. And Wind Ranger, I mean, it wasn't impossible. It was hard. And Wind Ranger wasn't really picked a lot. And this is a fun hero. You want it in the hero pool. You want it in that rotation of heroes. And I kind of like that she's been buffed. Roche, though, falling again without any contest. And this is...
Also, I like what Kuman's doing this game. He's targeting Agnums of his own, which makes sense against the Fiend's Grip. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's good. Overall, though, very weird that they have, like, interesting choices coming from them. Smoking up so late and not checking. They even had...
Oh, but look. Gonna walk into King R here. He has got the Song of Elf he needs it. The Moonlight Shadow comes out. Mag moving forward. But under Sentry, King R sized up. He can't get the Song off. He's gonna die for this. The BKB from Mag just to ensure there's no interruption. And Dendy's BKB just to remind and assert dominance. I've got nothing, no, seriously.
You have nothing?
I got nothing for that BKB.
Yeah, it's a fail. Just call it out, man. It's a fail. It's what it is.
Those
nothing
are the words.
Else.
It's you know, it's a zoning BKB, as we like to call them.
Zoning BKB. No, as you taught me, very interesting choice. A very interesting BKB. When you don't want to flame, it's very interesting choice. That's what I'm
I mean, it's Vega. We've seen the next level drafts. Maybe it's the next level strategies. Like BKB is now cooldown.
Yeah.
They'll go for Dendy.
Yeah, get the BKB so low that I don't know. I have nothing.
No. What will happen now is they'll go hunt Dendy because he flashed it. I think he was just seen under tower because it's daytime. He flashed that BKB in their face.
Alright, they did smoke up. They're hunting.
There you go. They're looking for Dendy.
That flashes people around. Or
yeah, that's unacceptable. That's not the prime target. He's got the Ravage available. Mag's already on the retreat. Nice 4-stuff away. Tornado. Slayer. Oh, he gets clipped by it. Can they fight it? Do they want to fight it is the question. Cold Snap's going to come out. He won't have a choice now. Slayer cannot use that Ravage. They'll leave him behind.
Yeah, even if you use the Ravage there, it's not really good for your team. You want to save that spell because you're dead for 40 seconds. And that Ravage cooldown is 150, so it's better if you don't use it and die than if you use it and... What were his options there? He would have just died again. So.
Yeah, there was no one really nearby to do anything with that. And as a result, they'll lose their tier 2 in the mid. Dendy has pressured top, though, so someone will have to come back to deal with that.
Yeah, but this tier 2 is definitely dead without a contest, so overall, an easy pick for double dimension.
Look at this move, though. They have a ward near the secret shop belonging to Vega, so they know where they are. The Moonlight Shadow's going to come out, and they're moving up now. They know that both Mag and Dendy are here.
Yeah, they do have sleep. They have all the setup they need. They're
Moran's
wrapping around them, and Mirana is coming too.
Oh, Mag, Dendy need to get out right now, but there's the disruption coming through, which means you won't be able to blink away. Oh, no, he gets it off with the BKB Mag. He makes it out, and Dendy will be able to escape as well. It seemed like a mishap there because they didn't have the Shadow Poison when he was in the disruption.
Yeah, it's definitely a misplay there as well. But overall, he did use his BKB, so a small...
But it's, I think it's worth it there. They rotate the entire team. Everyone on side double dimension.
Of course it's worth it. He survived. I'm just saying that it's a small thing that went their way, so...
You're looking for the consolation prizes for them.
Yeah, consolation prize.
Look how far you've come, Liz. You're looking for the good sides of things.
Yeah, what did you do to me? You...
It's like, instead of they screwed up this gank, it's, oh, well, they didn't quite get the gank, but... I've taken your negativity and turned it into positivity. Fiend's Grip coming on a Pikachu there. Shackle shot through, and Pikachu's going to fall. The TP from King are way too late. And they'll know about that ward, though. They ping it out straight away. It has to be a ward there, considering how that reaction came in.
Yeah, a nice move by Vega overall. Because if you are double dimension, you kind of expect them to be converging around this top tier 2 so that they can defend it, but instead they take offensive as well, an offensive movement, and they actually get a good prize. They take down that Invoker.
I kind of respect that they're doing that as well, because they'll line up as this goes. They know if they need to funnel more gold in.
Well.
This is a problem. The Nightmare's there, and the Shaka Shot connect. BKB by Mag before the arrow connects, and King R should fall. Won't get the song out. Cheshire Catch uses BKB, but it doesn't hit very hard on the back foot, though. Enrage coming out. Kuma just chasing down. Find Palandos. No, the Nightmare to protect, but it's not good enough. They're going to TP everyone else out. Mag will also escape. You do get the kill onto Plantomos, but you're forced back. You can't push high ground, and once again, like, considering they have the Aegis, I think, yes, you lose Plantomos, but Vega will be sort of happy with that.
Yeah, at the same time, they bought themselves some time, right? They forced them to go back, but this tier 2 on top was taken, and you do defend your own tier 2. You do buy back the Naga, which isn't really great for you, as she was close to that Blink Dagger, so if she kind of survived there, if she didn't have to buy back, at least that would have been much better for them, because once they get this Blink Dagger, it's much easier for them to initiate or disengage from these fights.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it did feel like Vega got baited in a little bit. It's like, great, Naga's the important kill. And then we saw Kuman just ambush from behind that tier 2 still up. So, all things considered, Vega has to be happy with how that went. And mid lane, no, Vanscore, he's got no mobility items. He can't really jump on top of Slayer here.
Yeah, top lane, they go for Invoker. And this is so much fun. Usually, people ask me, and players of my level usually, how do we anticipate ganks? Like, how do we know what's happening? It's these small movements on the map. Like, if you see anyone moving in a little bit of an awkward direction, and you just seem for 1 split second, you instantly fall back. That's what Invoker did exactly. It
was Slayer, right? I felt like it was Slayer when he started walking top a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you kind of switch and was like, okay, who's showing on the map?
BKB
coming out, but Plantomos is going to fall here again. Could not get a chance to use that halberd. I don't think I've seen him use it once in these fights.
Yeah, he can't get that chance, can he? Like, he just dies way too fast. So, yeah, this might transition into high ground push. That's difficult for them. The boards are already...
Oh, they jump straight in. Zayat's a little bit of trouble. The Shaka Shot coming through. Kuma taking a lot of damage. He could die here. Needs to be careful. The fees, but they're throwing everything. The disruption straight away. The BKB coming out from Mag, but he's slowed up. The power shot through. Kuma getting low, but not low enough. He'll stay alive with the enrage. They're going to heal him up the urn and look to move him away. The song created so much space in Palandomos. He brought back, but he can't do anything. Vanscore will fall. They'll get Kuman in the end, and Slayer chases 4 for more. He hasn't got another ravage for 10 seconds, but King R should be found. The silence comes out before he uses the mirrored image. He'll try for the TP out. The arrow gets dodged by Dendi. Nice Nightmare right at the last second from Zayat. And the stomp, just to slow down this kill, actually buys time for Double Dimension to move everyone else away. And the result, I will quickly just, apparently there's robot voices. I need to recall Lizard. Hello, Lizard. Can you hear things now?
Blah, 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 blah.
Yep, I can hear you. You good?
All right. We good?
Yeah, we're good. You can now post and analyze that fight if you wish.
Yeah, I mean, that Naga sleep was just great. Windrunner used her BKB.
Oh, bottom lane, hold on a second, though. Dendi, he reveals the Hex, and Pikachu getting low. The Tornado's going to come out. Shadow Demon on his way. The meat ball does drop, and Dendi with the cold snap up. No, they might just stay with the disruption. Can they time right? Dendi, oh, he can't blink away. He will fall.
BKB, man.
He didn't use it. For some reason,
why not?
Feeling he could live without it.
Was that one of those interesting options as well? Like, interesting.
It was a very interesting option in Slayer.
Yeah, you know why he didn't? Because he's the kind of a guy that uses BKB on mid when no one is pursuing.
You know what that was? Okay, so that was like positive, negative reinforcements, right? So he had that experience, and like he kind of like slapped himself around the face, like, no, do not use BKB. And then he forgot you actually should use BKB in certain scenarios.
Yeah, it's not an item that you just carry around in your inventory. For the passive effect, is it? Plus 10 strength, plus 24 damage. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm kidding. It was just an honest mistake. Don't
I mean, think that I feel to be honest, like, so if we're totally honest, let's think about it this way. When Vanscore disrupts you like that, he's actually doing you a favor, right? So the disruption comes out, you feel safe. So maybe you feel like the cold snap's gonna run out, and it did look like it was a little bit close. Cold snap had been going for a while.
Yeah, and the other problem is maybe if you use the BKB there and Vanscore is on time with the disruption porting in. Overall, very interesting choices, very questionable choices coming from Dendi, leading to his death. But overall, his team is still in sort of a decent spot, I feel. They have to find
I think it's better than... It's getting pretty decent. and beyond, right? Because Plantimos has caught up and surpassed Ursa. And despite the fact you've been killing this much, Gyro is the powerhouse in the late game each game.
Yeah, he is. But Pikachu hunting on top lane.
He'll hit him, but there's a BKB available. Gyro doesn't want to have to use his. He might be forced to do so. Nope. Can't control him. The meatball way too late with the cold snaps.
I actually expected Zaz to go a bit more aggressive, but...
I think they didn't have the lockdown for him to stop him using cheese was the problem.
Yeah, it was the Lincolns, I suppose, but he kind of didn't expect to get him on time. Like, he can use the Enfeeble, I suppose, but maybe he didn't expect to be able to pull it all off properly.
Look at this from Vega. Yeah, they're moving in right now, and King R, he might break this smoke unwillingly, actually. Oh, the blink away! They're going to chase through. Dendy wants this. The Hex comes out, but it may be a little bit too late. The TP rotation's in. Kuman is hunting. Dendy needs to blink away. We'll be able to escape. And they know the Moonlight Shadow's been used, so they will full retreat. And they can't afford to get caught. The tornado coming through. Zaz in a little bit of trouble. The arrow gets dodged out. The cold snap. Nice nightmare to buy a little bit of time. The chop through, he will fall. And Dendy just needs to retreat.
Is this free rush with the refresher too? Like, they cannot give this one away.
Not to an Invoker or a Naga. Both so lethal here.
There's no way you give this rush without a fight. You might have given the last two without the fight, and that's kind of questionable, but understandable. Naga, Kingar,
problems here. He won't get Blink away this time as Dendy attacks him first, and he'll fall. He tries to drop the Meteor Hammer, won't be able to, and as a result, Kuman retreats from the pit.
I mean, he had two illusions there. He could have sent one to scout for him. He could have done anything but to walk uphill like that. It's very dangerous. Like, people emphasize these runes and they value them so much. Someone is gonna be there to pick it up. Yeah, you can gamble your life 10 seconds after. Like, it wasn't even minute 35:00. It was more like 35:10.
Plantimos just walked into an arrow here. He's playing fetch, and now they turn Cheshire Cat into a piggy. BKB out. Sonic Wave doesn't connect. No, Cheshire Cat will escape alive, but they're gonna go in the Roche pit themselves now. Mag focus fires up, and they can actually do this in time. Double dimension.
I like this from them. I like this a lot.
This is
already
perfect.
50% HP. This is perfect for them, actually.
I mean, the Sunstrike will reveal the deed, but they can't do anything about this. And this will be a double Ravage now. I mean, it should be. Mag has it right now. Okay. Oh no, they're going for double Hex Sonic Wave. That's fair. Both are effective.
Hex, double Sonic Wave, double BKB to overall.
Oh my god, that catapult.
It's going to Tidehunter. It's going to Tidehunter. It's much more valuable, definitely. After the BKBs are out, double Ravage can just win you the fight instantly. And having it on opposition 4, it's just incredibly strong. Pikachu though, he's moving in top. He's alone, but how does he do this? Like,
it's problematic
here. He needs
Mag.
more.
He's got the gem though. The Hex comes out, but they use the Moonlight Shadow. Should be able to move him away. Gotta be careful. Mag retreating. They might catch him though. The Instair's going to come out. BKB force, and Kuman's still chasing through. The Actor as well. They're going to slow him down with the Purge. They'll get on top, and Mag will fall, and he drops the gem for them.
Dendy,
they see him, they ping him. They know where he is. The BKB comes out just in time so he can blink away. He's not going to forget it this time around. And Vanscore needs to be careful standing next to a beast here. He might be in trouble. The Ravage comes out.
Oh,
It's going to go again. Another meatball gets out of time, but now Plantimos across as well. They're looking to retread through them. Kuman will try and stand his ground with the Enrage, but he hasn't got anyone who can attack. He'll kill off Sayat. But can he get out is the true question. No, he can't. Plantimos just staying on top. He's going to lose sight. Kuman. Oh no, the Rocket Barrage clips. This is going to be close. Plantimos, he can't finish him off, but they should be able to find Pikachu here. He'll reveal and he will fall. So Kuman, he escapes on next to no health. They do take 2 of them, but no doubts in Vega's mind, they took a strong victory in that fight.
Definitely. And speaking about that refresher shard usage, we talked about, yeah, maybe Dandy, maybe Man, but no, man, you just give it to the Tidehunter. You always give it to the Tidehunter. If he has ways of actually closing distance and going into a fight, and that was just perfect. What was weird is they didn't even, it wasn't even that they committed only for Dandy there. They couldn't really catch him, and they knew it. What Vanscore was committing in, why he was so deep, is the gem. The gem was dropped by Windrunner, and he went in so deep just so he can get his hands on it. I mean, it's valuable, but if you're all there, all 4 of you, and you get ravaged,
I mean, it's valuable. It's not that valuable, though. Look at the net worth. Suddenly, this huge hike after taking the Roche, taking the team fight like that. And it's like, I can kind of understand where Double Dimension were coming from. You feel kind of emboldened, right? Mag has been your biggest problem the last 5-10 minutes, arguably. Right? He's been finding these solo pickoffs fantastically. So you eliminate him, it's like, okay, it's 4 versus 5. We're great. We can do this. but double Ravage is the problem. Kuman, oh, the Shackle Shot didn't land.
It did just the Enrage instead.
Oh yeah, the Enrage with the Axe picked it up now.
It doesn't really. Yeah, he isn't afraid of pretty much anything right now.
It's also the cooldown reduction from having that Axe is insane.
Yeah.
Down to 18 seconds.
They're going in those. That's so deep here.
Slayer has a Ravage of 35 seconds. I think they just want to push on the tower, because by the time they're pushing in, they'll have a Ravage again, and then Double Dimension is forced to either let this go or commit.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to death. They use the
Lantimos
going first.
Tornado hits him. He's got the BKB, but he won't have to use it. He'll be forced stuffed away. He's out of mana though. Zayats gets hit by the arrow. The Sunstrike through. Zayats won't even live long enough to see it. The Shackle Shot coming out the Suns as well. Fans got a little bit of trouble. On the back foot though, Kuman. They just clean up Dendy, and now instead of hold Mag in place, forced to the BKB. They do pop the Aegis. And they're surrounded here. Zayats did buy back, but he's still far away. And it looks like Planimo's going to be forced to use the BKB and try and fight here. But he's surrounded and he's against an Ursa. There's no way he can deal with this. The disarm comes out. Maybe he can. Kuman! He's going to fall! They will still get the kill into Plantimos, but he gets some value in return.
Definitely. Like, killing off Ursa there was awesome. Overall, though, the decision-making by Double Dimension was just very good there. They knew that they had a certain amount of time before that Ravage was up, and they just went all in there, and it was perfect. I mean, it wasn't super good, as they had to initiate on Gyro that had the Aegis. Usually you want to get everyone else but the Aegis carrier. But they didn't waste any major spells. And after not getting the Gyro, after he had to fall back because he was so low, they just caught out both Zayats and Dandy. They were kind of out of position there, and this ward on the hill there just gave them so much information that they could just catch anyone that they wanted to. Overall, very well executed by Double Dimension.
Well, we can't underestimate the bashes either. They've actually got that catapult on their Shackle Shot. Arrow, Slayer will dodge it out. He's moving in. The Ravage coming out in the free, but no one's backing him up here. Mag trying to move across, gets the focus fire out. BKB up, trying to move on the Pikachu, but gets Invis. They're holding him in place though, and the song comes out. Cheshire Cat will move away after the Fiend's Grip. They might look to set up a Mag here. They could go for this. The Meteor Hammer's going to drop. Now with the Meatball as well. Ruin in place. Mag. Nightmare to dodge out half the damage. He's got the Wind Run going as well. He'll be forced up in the base. The disruption does come out from Vanscore a little bit too late, and Slayer will just stand next to Vanscore. He forces the Purge down to him, and they're moving forward. They want more. Dendy, Shadow Bladed up. Shackle Shot lands. Vanscore's going to fall. They might hunt for more, but it's too late. The rest of Double Dimension gets out. And they did still lose a decent amount of health on those racks. But I was going to say the biggest deal there is, despite that Alacrity catapult, it was barely like it happened, right? Because at this point in the game, that's something we haven't talked about yet, is how strong the Alacrity is, these pushes. Yeah,
it's really good. Just using it on either one of your forges or on the catapult, it can just take down a tower all lonesome if you allow it to.
Oh, the scan.
Though, his Shadow Bladed.
Yeah, but they scanned.
They ping him. He has a gem on Pikachu, so he knows, but Dandy should know as well, as he's affected by Ghost Law.
Yeah, he'll move away. The Moonlight Shadow was committed. I think that's what they were kind of hoping for, is just dangle yourself there long enough. Dendy knows how to use his BKBs now. He's not going to fall for this again.
Yeah, but... right, you're making some assumptions there, man.
He learned. He used it last time, all right? It didn't help him much because he got bashed instantly by Ursa. That's another thing. Yeah. That was a preview to what's coming, because Kuman is going to finish off that Abyssal.
We talked about some...
Slayer? Courier snipes. And that was part of the Abyssal we were just talking about.
Tidehunter courier sniping, alright. Overall, that Ravage from Tidehunter, it was used, but he has it off cooldown again. And it was kind of interesting, because you don't really see a... I mean, we don't see a lot of position for Tidehunters. The overall, I guess because of that, it felt, to me at least, it felt like a waste, because they used the Ravage, but overall, even though they didn't get any kills, they prevented them from taking those Raxes, and they kind of shoo them away from their base, and that Ravage is back up. So every time the Ravage is used, we have to remember that it is a big spell on their side, but it's a position 4. It's a position 4 Tidehunter. It's not the greatest of deals. It's not like you're offlane Tidehunter and that you have to do something with that Ravage. It comes as a bonus, more or less.
Also, it feels like this is the type of hero that could be viable in the future amongst other teams as a support, especially with that XP talent. Because I think the biggest thing about Tide is you want to have that level of edge, right? It's such a strong hero with it.
It's level 15 though.
That's true, but like
I can see where you're coming from, and this hero can be played on 4 because of the gush. Like he can kind of be picked, but honestly, there are so many heroes that do a lot more than he does. And the thing is, this team just plays so well around him. Like they play well, even though they have this. Like at the start of the game, do you remember how much Invoker had? That's partly because they had this Tide on position 4. If they had any other sort of a position 4 that can threaten mid in any decent way, like wrapping around like they did last time, that Invoker would have been suffering a lot harder. So, yeah, I agree with you, but at the same time...
They are looking to wrap around now. They're smoked up, and they drew a line. They know Pikachu's around here. They've got a ward that spots them as well.
Coming in, but Koeman is a hard kill.
Next up, Silence as well. Looks like Cheshire Cat's going to fall here. He has no way out. He even commit the Fiend's Grip and Sonic Wave. Now they're going to look to find Slayer here. Disruption. He did force the Waff away in time. The Blink, no, he couldn't get it off. The Hex is going to come out and Slayer will fall here, which means they need to get out. Kuma jumps in. He claps on the side, bashes him up, cleans him up. That was after finding a kill onto Mag as well. They went so deep there.
Yeah, the problem is they went in 2 different directions, so they did get a kill on Mag, but at the same time they initiated on the Ursa in the back, and that Ursa just swiped through them, man. Like he destroyed them.
It was pretty greedy. They needed to save their Tide, if anything, but instead they just tried to take an alternative fight. And like we said, we've seen already, you try and deal with Koeman. He's got that Axe now, so he can just enrage off the Shackle Shot. And you've already committed your Hex anyway. Questionable decisions.
It wasn't really great for them. Oh, the
global cooldown.
The global, yeah.
It's that type of game. Buyback coming out on Slayer, though. He's got the Ravage still. That's the good news for them, but they need one hell of a hold here.
Don't you like the 3 missiles more, though?
I do, but I can understand why he's done at this game. They don't really have... Like, Dendy can go split push, but anyone else is susceptible to getting caught, especially with this Ursa now almost having the Abyss.
You kind of get a lot of farm from this, and you can split push easier with it. You can push out those lanes, and in that aspect it's great. But those 3 missiles, they can do so much in fights too.
Speaking of that Roche, the Roche taker Ursa, he's picked up his Abyssal, and now, remember there's another refresh shot.
Hold down in the pit? No? Nothing?
They need to do something. They have to know this is happening. They'll smoke up finally, but this is going to be way too late with the Enrage. Koeman will finish this off. And suddenly, do you still go? I can't imagine you just get some walls down.
You can. They smoked up. They can try and do something here. If maybe someone goes in, someone that's separated.
You're kind of looking for the Roche disengage, you know, where people typically go their own ways. Because, okay, I think it's like psychologically, once you have Roche, you feel confident you can just split up. And Pikachu just found a gem. They didn't realize that Tide had died with that on him last time. It's convenient.
Just a casual gem.
It's got 2 now. It's all good. He sees everything, everywhere. Imagine if like having multiple gems increased your vision range.
Pikachu is moving bottom, but he's gonna be actually very careful because he did die a couple of times already like this.
Well, more to the point, he's got 2 gems now.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's the vision advantage that you talked about.
No. It's just you gotta be very careful because you're giving over double.
Yeah. No, man. It's 2 gems. He saw them.
It won't matter though. They have to go back.
Something appears on the minimap 1 out of 10 games when you have 2 gems.
Oh, so it's like in Fallout, those hidden perks where you see things that you couldn't.
Yeah, particles appear when you carry 2 gems.
So it's prismatic gems. Particles? There we go.
Yeah, they're not as often as before, but those goddamn little particles that used to happen all the time, man, on the map, like you would see Tinker and everything.
Oh yeah, especially in the Roche game, like Maelstrom, I think was the best one. Always appeared. Yeah. And look at this, Cheshire Cat hits pretty hard with Velocity on him. And that kind of, they had that coming, right? Vega, Plantimos, he hid really far back there. He should have been clear on the wave, but he didn't even want to approach it.
Yeah, he did hit pretty hard. He doesn't hit quite hard right now, at least. Maybe his illusions will, but he has plenty damage after that feeble.
I think actually the other thing to hit is once you reach 25, there's certain talents in the game that really change the tempo, change the way fights happen. And Queen of Pain, we've seen it before, it's definitely one of them with the Fear for 1.5 seconds.
The Fear is just one of the best 25 talents. 100%. It's just one of the best talents there are. You can send people running away without being able to control their hero for 1.5 seconds. It's ridiculously strong. It allows you to just set up everything that you want. It allows you so much more than you usually can do with that Queen of Pain.
It's also because obviously that's stopping using BKB for a start. The difference between the feat you get on Queen of Pain and the one that someone like Lone Druid has is typically that's more reactive. You can be seen coming, they can BKB. Whereas Dendi just jumps on top of them, suddenly they're hit by the fear, they can't do anything. Guaranteed.
They're pinging out this Pikachu coming in, but I believe Pikachu is kind of aware as well, as he had that ward.
Look at this.
He should know, but...
He'll move in. Mag needs to back off here, though.
He has the sentry. He should see.
Dust comes out. Dendi, though, he gets hexed up. They jump into the Abyssal and the Deafening Blast. They'll be able to finish him off. They even refresh it for and chasing more. Slayer's going to get caught. He throws out the Ravage, but they can't do anything on the back foot. Zayat will fall as well. Mag, he'll get out of range just in time, but Vanscore's still hunting. He sees Palantimos. Dendi's going to buy back and try and get across in time, but Palantimos, oh, they got the slow on him, the Earth Shock, the talent, and now he has to fight. This is there, holding him in place. The disarm comes out on Kuman. He needs to move away, but it's going to run out the enrage. He'll shred through Gyro. And suddenly, Vega, they may be forced to commit all the buybacks to hold this because everyone on Double Dimension is still ready to fight.
Well, yeah, they didn't lose a whole lot. Just some mana and that's it. The Gyro has to buy back. Then they already bought back.
We were saying about talents that changed the game. A 600 AoE Earth Shock. You gotta give us some credit there.
Yeah, it slowed down the Gyro, definitely. It's one of the reasons... I mean, the Gyro there, he would have died 100% even without that connecting, but overall it was a nice addition to that fight. Overall, that fight was all about vision. Invoker moved in, he had a sentry and he saw that Windrunner right next to him, but he decided not to go on the Windranger. Instead, he went on to the Dendi and just destroyed him instantly with the Hex plus the Abyssal coming in from the Ursa. A very nice fight coming from Double Dimension. They even forced out the Ravage that had zero effect whatsoever.
Which now has question marks in my mind because Double Dimension are not pushing in. They've still got the Aegis.
That was a very interesting thing, though. Like, it's not so easy to push versus Windranger and Gyro. It's not easy to push versus Co-op either, but these two, they didn't have buybacks. Maybe that's what they were worried about. Maybe they thought, okay, they have buybacks. Let's.
Well, they know about Gyro's buyback. Like he's now all in. If you can kill him again.
The other two. Yeah, the other two. And this is good though. If you don't push high ground there, and if you get them now, if you kill them now, it's game over.
Fought by the disruption here. Might be a little bit of trouble trying to move away. Gets purged up. We're trying Nightmare to protect himself, but he's gone. He's gonna brain zap up, and it won't matter. He'll pop. They did manage to bring the tide across. He has the Ravage Veil. Jump in the Abyssal. The Hex in return for Palantimos. The Ravage coming through. They'll catch the back lane with the Sonic Wave. Palantimos moving forward. They'll clean up the supports, and Kuman's here alone. He might be in trouble. The BKB and the Enrage coming out. Palantimos needs to be careful. He cannot die. But now, Kuman in a little bit of trouble, trying to run away. The dust on him means he can't hide. They'll jump forward. Dendi will clean him up. Now, Pikachu. Hex coming out. Jumps in from the back line. Looking to get rid of Mag. But Mag, he can get the wind run off again. He'll be protected. Pikachu stunned up in the meantime. Ursa has bought back. But they'll turn around. Song coming out. And meanwhile, Palantimos does finally fall to Cheshire Cat on the back foot. And they're going to be in trouble. The Meteor Hammer gets dodged out. The BKB and the movement away by Mag. Perfectly timed. And they'll turn around. The Silence coming out to Cheshire Cat. Forcing him to use the BKB. Moving forward. King Art's going to hit the instead. Pops the Linkers and Mags. He'll go invis with the Wind Run and move away just in time here. But Kuman's on his way in. He's got the Abyssal. If he sees Dendi for a second.
He has no blink. He blinked into kind of close distance. But right now, if he sees him, he can go definitely. Overall, kind of sloppy from Double Dimension, but they knew that they had that Gyro has no buyback. So if you kill that Gyro, this just happens afterward. So yeah. Oh, there's a Divine Rapier on Dendi. Oh, it's Palantimos is Divine actually.
Yeah.
This is the second time we didn't see it.
It felt like it didn't do anything because Kuman once again the Enrage. It was just an irrelevant factor.
Yeah, he was hitting Kuman quite hard, but overall...
But then the Enrage comes out. That was the problem every time. And that was just the first life he had to get through. And now they're in a little bit of trouble. Mag trying to jump in, gets hit with a Tornado, the Hex as well. But no, the Abyssal's trying to Dendi. Calls out the air on this Brock. And Mag just tries to stand his ground. They'll wipe out Cheshire Cat. But now they need to move away. Kuman chasing on the Zayats on the back line. The Deafening Blast out to push the third way. The Hex coming out to Mag as well. They're chasing him down. They got perfect vision. King Art's going to throw out the Ensnare. And the Nightmare to try and buy some time. But Mag, no, you need to get it off with the Sunstrike. Plus the Riptide is going to fall. The buyback coming out. Dendi on the back foot. Trying to force Pikachu away. But the Song King R's ready with the Meteor Hammer about to drop Dendy. He drops his head. Get the BKB. It's off the mark, and he'll try and move away. The fear hitting on the Kuman. Shackle shot on the other side of the fight. Cheshire Cat holding place. He's going to get low, but
Dendy.
not low enough. Looking to move away. And now they see Pikachu as well. They're trying to find the Ravage coming out. But Dendy, he does fall, and he has no way back into this because he already bought back. They're going to move forward, looking on the mag as well. The Purge does come out. He has to move away. The Tornado on to Slayer in the meantime, but the wall down as well. He can't actually get away from this. He's stuck in on the back foot. Again, Kuman, he goes in, and Zayat, he can't stay alive. He's going to fall. The buyback coming up for Slayer, but he hasn't got any Ravage in 90 seconds, and it looks like that might be it. I don't think they've got anything left. Palandamos, the last hope, but he hasn't got his Rapier for some reason.
And they're falling back. Why, guys?
Why? This is overly defensive.
And the suffering. You have a Rapier on your Naga. Just go in.
I mean, here's the biggest... Oh,
He's
God.
even checking Rush with that Ursa, man. He went in, checked Rush, like, guys, let the Megas finish them off. Let's just chill. Let's just farm. Let's go back. I mean,
there are games where you are being overly defensive, and this is most definitely one of them.
Yeah, they're being so careful. It's borderline ridiculous. Like, they're so careful. They could have ended that right there. There's no Ravage on the Tidehunter. Basically, you're fighting 5 versus Gyro and Wind Ranger, and that's it.
Better safe than sorry, though, you know, because obviously this is a spot of Summit 9 we're talking about. Everyone wants this.
Of course. I mean, of course.
Vanscore?
Vanscore going...
He's got an Invis rune.
Alone or something. Is this the carefulness we talked about? I mean,
half the team wants to be careful. Half of it. No one said everyone was being careful with this.
Now they use the Mirana's ulti. I suspect some sort of aggressive movement is gonna come out of it. Maybe not, though. Apparently not. Vanscore is the only one standing so deep in.
Asserting his dominance.
Come on, guys, get over
five.
here.
I mean, this pulse 5 does have an Ags as well. No one really wants to go close to that. Would you want to be the one getting purged? Probably not.
Definitely not. But at the same time, like, if you were passive for this amount of time, you're gonna continue being passive as well. You're not gonna go in. Maybe Vanscore just make some space here or something, but make some space. Also known, maybe he feeds. Because he has no mobility item. Like, he has Etrolance and Aghanim's, but overall, if you're double dimension and they're all respawned, you just wait for Rush now. Maybe you can be aggressive, but you most likely just wait for Rush, because if you waited when Queen of Pain and Bane were dead and you knew that they had no buybacks, why would you go right now?
What am I looking at? So
maybe you stay in just so you can wheel chat a bit more.
I mean, that's what we're, you know, maybe the whole idea is you just want to crush Vega's spirit.
Morale?
Yeah, just like second game, done 20 minutes, okay? You spend the extra time you would have in game 2 here. Maybe that's psychological games. No, he's not. He's just baiting Slayer to TP a few feet away back to his fountain.
It's just the debate, nothing more. And Slayer has to port.
Oh, Roche is up though. This is what they've been waiting for, guys.
Yeah, maybe now we can push, guys. What do you think?
Maybe. I don't know. Can we stack Aegises? Is that a thing now? It should be. Make you feel a little bit more safe.
The problem was, in that last fight, they had some heroes that used buybacks, so going...
Wait, no, Slay's dead. Vanscore. That cooldown on the Shadow Poison working out. The Hex coming out in the song, though. Perfectly timed by King R. They're going to move across. Can they get the Meteor Hammer right this time? They won't even try. Palandamos, BKB'd up, charging in. Kuman, he's doing the BKB. Mag getting low. Won't be able to finish him off the Tornado crew. Catching on to Palandamos. They'll chase through and they'll force Dendy to blink away. But now they've left the Gyro behind. Hexed up. He can't do anything. He's helpless. The Shackle shot into Kuman isn't going to be good enough. The Sonic Wave through won't even kill him. There's the bashes. Dendy gets caught out of Kuman. He doesn't even have to die for this. He's still alive. The buyback from Dendy just trying to scare away. Pikachu saying, please don't dive our fountain. But Pikachu, Tornado connecting on the 2. They'll go for the throne. And it looks like it's all over. Vega, not much they can do but try to delay this. Dendy with the fears is nice, but is it enough? They're going to turn around this there. Overlapping the disruption. They'll kill off Mag. They'll move forward. They'll look for Dendy as well as the last one alive. Going to the back foot, just trying to creep away. But it won't matter. It's over. And you know what? Could have went either way, right, Liz? Because there's half a chance if one of them more than dies, double dimension, just leave the base.
I mean, overall, the game was really close. The game ended with 40 to 45 in the kill score. And overall, the game was really close indeed. At one point, we actually expected Vega to take it, especially after that double ravage that wiped double dimension. But they just got some favorable pickoffs actually, and it's very weird to see that so late into the game. The game is decided by some crucial pickoffs, especially those revolving around Dandy that happened around the bottom shrine, in which, truth be told, he was invis and Double Dimension was invis as well, so it's not as easy to anticipate. But if you get such a crucial hero down super early on, you can take the fight after.
It was definitely looking quite grim, but it was always that kind of case. You know, we said about very strong types of talents, and Queen of Pain definitely had one of them. So I can respect why Double Dimension was so reluctant. It was still surprising. We talk about it. Lots of teams are overly defensive. There's justification behind it, but regardless, you can't fault them. They did still win.
The problem is when you're pushing high ground like that, usually you can commit if you have buybacks. Like, even though it looks to us that it's overly defensive, like we have the high ground vision, we have the God mode, right? We see everything. Black sheep wall.
Got the bird's eye view.
Yeah, bird's eye view, and they don't. It's much harder for them. So in their eyes, this is happening. 3 of them are alive. They're defending high ground. They have the high ground advantage, and at the same time, we don't have buybacks on our Ursa, and I think one more hero. So I think Naga. So why even give them that small faint chance? You know, why even give them any chance? Let's just fall back. We have the Megas, take Rush, and then the game. It's definitely safer. You could argue that it was unnecessary in the current scenario, but better safe than sorry.
It's only game 1 though, Liz, and what a fantastic game 1. Despite how we saw it go, we both felt it could have went either way. We'll have to see if game 2 delivers that same experience, and if Double Dimension can just slam it out in 2-0, or if Vega will have some more interesting past 4 picks, maybe bounce back and take it to a game 3.
Maybe steal the Ursa and put it on position 4 this time.
Worked well from last time. Well, we'll just have to find out. We'll be back in a few minutes with game 2. Stay tuned, guys.